Hey you! 2023 was like a decade ago, but ever since, K-pop has had a death grip on my consciousness. It began with all the trending songs of 2023. Queen Card, I Am, Super Shy. I feel really old going back and thinking about those, but I'm not really unk if I know someone who's a fan of Turbo. I took a break from K-pop in 2024 and 2025 since I got super into J-pop. There's a jump in my Spotify playlist history between September 2024 and March 2025 for just K-pop, and dude, it didn't even work out. I only got into top 0.05 for Not Today. So, March 2025, I was at my friend's house, and she decides, for whatever reason, to start autoplaying K-pop on her TV. The music video for If I Say I Love You came up. That was the beginning of the end. Apparently something clicked in my brain because I immediately added it to my playlist. Fast forward a month later and I'm like, man, I don't really listen to J-pop anymore and I kind of want to get back into K-pop. But the only group I tried to get into before was newjeans, and yeah, I like them, but I couldn't really get into anything besides their music. So I pulled out the golden strat. I had found Not Today through scrolling through my existing playlist and random shuffling songs from artists I didn't know. And guess what I found in my playlist? boynextdoor. I'd heard of them before, just vaguely, and I was like, yeah, sure, I'll give it a shot. On May 27th, 2025, I had 97 songs on my K-pop playlist. Can you guess what it is today? It's not 100. It's not 200 either. My playlist is currently 764 songs long. If you do the math, it's nearly a 687% increase. Do you know how much songs I added? About 3 months after I got into boynextdoor, I was like, man, I love these songs. I'd love it if they could become my favorite group too. So I watched the Mafia episode. It's a good video, but I clearly remember being like, I can't recognize or remember any of them. For context, the only people I had been interested in, and I did not know their names at the time, were Unak and Ryu from the little Spotify preview for 12378. Unak from that video single-handedly turned me into a fan. It was the end of December, and I got these recommendations for boynextdoor English interviews, like BuzzFeed and similar ones, you know? And for whatever reason, I started watching boynextdoor interviews, and I was like, whoa, I like these guys. And I watched so much boynextdoor content. It was genuinely insane. I woke up and watch the Nice Guy music video, and then the next day I would wake up and watch the Hollywood Action music video, and I spent every waking hour watching What Door. On my birthday, I was watching boynextdoor music videos, and the thing is, I don't regret it in the slightest. Is that concerning? I started listening to K-pop freaking everywhere. On March 20th, an insignificant date, I stayed up studying, and by the time I finished, the BTS album had dropped. I listened to the entire thing at 12:40 in the morning. By the way, I'm still slightly mad Merry-Go-Round didn't get the huge hype it deserved, but I digress. I'd heard of people putting songs on loop as they slept, and I was like, wait, I can do that with loop on Spotify. And then I started doing this for a couple of months, and my battery on my computer got just slightly swollen. Like, the trackpad couldn't click down at all. It was on the breaking point of exploding, but this is like an actual plot point, by the way. Before you watch the next part, you have to promise that you'll be an empath and sympathize with me. In April, I went to sleep listening to Hyunin Kai's solo, Dance With You. The next day, I got up, I went to volunteering the entire day, I came back, and I realized it had been on loop for the past 20 hours. I was literally listening to Spotify on my phone, and I was like, I can't remember if I turned my computer off this morning. Nah, it's probably fine. It was not fine. Dance With You played nearly 600 times on loop non-stop. I genuinely have not listened to that song ever since. If you're wondering, before Spotify patched it, you could loop a single song infinitely without any ads. Right now, it only works with music videos, but it seriously made me consider switching over to Melon. In last year's Wrapped, I got a couple thousand minutes for boynextdoor and landed in top 0.05. In past years, I've listened to 6,000 to 9,000 minutes the entire year. I am getting 2,000 to 3,000 minutes every week now. How am I doing this? How did I get here? And after I wake up, I continue watching K-pop music videos. I genuinely found Flare You and Nays because their music videos kept popping up as I was getting ready for the day. Holy peak, Flare You. Maybe not world shaking, but I love Way To You. I really hope Flare You doesn't do anything terribly controversial because I have no clue about them. I just know that they seem nice enough. Other than that, I will plug enhypen No Doubt into my veins. The dream team of the most beautiful songs I will never get bored of has to be TXT Deja Vu, Love Song, enhypen No Doubt and Bad Desire, BTS Boy With Love, chuu Cocktail Dress, Jin In The Clouds, and boynextdoor 12378 and Audios. I have a playlist literally titled The Most Heavenly Songs I've Ever Listened To, and I curate only the most beautiful, soul-entrancing songs in there. And all that is to explain why I have an entire wall of K-pop idols. Considering the massive shelves of K-pop merch that some people have, my parents should probably be a little bit grateful that I am very frugal and broke. And two, K-pop merch is freaking expensive. Like, what am I supposed to do with with the $60 TXT light stick if they don't even tour nearby. That being said, I will buy the $35 Boy Next Door light stick. Now, I will present to you my impressive collection of trinkets. Of the 3 albums I have, I bought this one with my own money, and I received these 2 as gifts. I researched like crazy for a no genre too. I watched all the unboxings and compared all of the photo cards. Mostly the photo cards, but hey, no judgment. I keep all my photo cards in this little booklet. My friend actually gave me these ones. Besides that, the only K-pop merch I own is this Minji keychain that I keep for good luck, and this BT21 keychain that my brother got from God knows where. I only searched up what it was yesterday, and this one is Jimin. I was really hoping it would be Jin because I really like Jin solos, but to be fair, I don't know any of the characters and it could have been a 1 in 7 chance anyway. Oh, and my phone! I have this little image trinket, and I printed out a tiny Sungo Ryu, and on the other side are the rest of the Boy Next Door members. My phone case itself is really cute, and I put a Sweet Home Eon photo card inside. Low-key, I went to a K-pop store with my friend who's not into K-pop, and no joke, I was in there for at least an hour. There was an entire table with seats just for people who aren't into K-pop. I went in to get either Jin Echo, Star Trapped Together, How Win version, or No Genre No Rap version, and I ended up looking through merch with no genre in hand. I went in with exactly 1 cent short of the album's price, but the owner was kind enough to just let me take the album. Speaking of merch, the collabs K-pop groups do make me so much more materialistic because What Do You Mean Unak recommended this exact shade of Heart Percent. But why does Boy Next Door collab with such expensive brands or Korea exclusives? I wanted to try the GS25 cream bong so badly. Heart Percent is like really funny, by the way. Every day I log into Instagram and watch whatever Boy Next Door content got posted, and Heart Percent, without fail, has liked every single one of their posts. Whatever employee's job it is to just get on that is on it every single time. Makeup on K-pop idols in general is just so pretty. I get that idols go to the dermatologist like whenever they have the most minor skin concern, but dude, I look back at young images of myself and wonder if my skincare was just better back then or if I just got acne late. Also, I really love the gradient lips trend. It's probably because makeup artists always conceal part of the lips or use a lip liner, but I cannot figure it out. And you saw too. I really like the look of them, but I just don't have the makeup for that. Sort of the last video I made, but every time I see a K-pop idol with dyed hair and it looks good, man, I try to save money, but trends and consumerism? I see the appeal. The K-pop variety show To Interview Your Pipeline is kind of surreal though. I got into Onore Juuje and Halmyungsu and then freaking Napoli Mafia for some reason. I actually finished watching Culinary Class Wars because Sungwoo and Subin kept talking about it, and then I saw the Pixie Picky Eater Boy Next Door episode. It was so over. I watched pretty much every single Napoli Mafia video I could find on YouTube. In hindsight, I'm not addicted to K-pop. I'm just addicted to YouTube. Dude, I've been sitting for so long talking about K-pop, my leg has gone numb. It really does not help my YouTube addiction when now I just watch every Hey Bye video, and for some reason I'm a ZB1 Matthew fan now. Before I only cared about Zhang Ao. I don't want to care about anymore, bro. It's already hard enough catching up on my Boy Next Door content. And I still don't know how I got into TXT. I watched a short with Blue Hour in the background like twice too many, and now I have their entire discography liked and added on Spotify. I've watched too much TXT content. I need to stop. I'm a One Door first, although for that 8-month hiatus, I was slipping. Since I had listened to their songs so much, I was getting fatigued. Don't get me started on the peak that is 5th and 4th gen K-pop. To Us and i-dle and Rise and P1 Harmony and CORTIS and 82 Major? I can't keep talking, the video is already too long. Random, but I'm really glad I ended up in a chill fandom. Wonders are amazing. Now, if literally anyone near me listened to Boy Next Door, it would be even better. I don't get it. They aren't even niche. Why can't I find anyone? Last thing. It was 4 or 5 a.m. on June 8th when Boy Next Door released their album Home after their last major release being in October. You best believe I woke up 4 hours earlier for that. I listened to the entire album and got into the first 1,000 listeners for Viral. How wonderful fandom can be. Thank you for listening to me talk for way too long. Bye.